The annotation of Morgas Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas.
Good day everyone! Today we will be tackling about the annotation of Morgas Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas. Objective: at the end of this video, we are expected to analyze Rizal's idea on how to rewrite Philippine history. And we are able to compare and contrast Rizal and Morgas' different views about the Filipino and Philippine culture. So, annotation. What is annotation? So, annotation is a noun, a note of explanation or comment added to a text or a diagram. So, annotation is commentary nato, comment nato, kanang gi-add nato para mas makuan sa author. So, other term is reaction paper or para mas madali, reaction video. So, meaning of the Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas. So, de las Islas Filipinas means the Philippine Island. It was named in honor of King Philip II of Spain. Sucesos means it was work of an honest observer. Kay kanina book, wala siyang halong bias. Gisulat jud di siya based sa na-observe og nakita.
So let's talk about the successes de las Islas Filipinas. By the way, I'm Elmar Bao and we'll talk about it. So, one of the important works of the Philippines about the colonization of Spain, published by Antonio de Morga in Mexico in 1609. So the book provides a detailed narrative of the history, culture, and society of the Philippines during the Spanish colonial period. So it covers various aspects such as indigenous customs, religion, politics, and the early interaction between the Spanish colonizer and the native inhabitants. So Morga's works is considered an essential source of understanding the early history of the Philippines under the Spanish rule. So, the title Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas is translated to Event of the Philippine Island in English. It refers to a historical account that documents the significant event is developed and occurrence that took place in the Philippines during the Spanish colonial period. So the Spanish colonial motives were not, however, strictly commercial. The Spanish at first viewed the Philippines as a stepping stone to the riches of the East Indies or Spice Island. But even after the Portuguese and the Dutch had foreclosed that possibility, the Spanish still maintained their presence in the archipelago. So the book tackled the policies of the Spaniards regarding trade. In addition, it talked about communication with Japan, Chinese, and missionary movements. Also, the book included the envious motives of the Portuguese, the danger of sailing in the neighboring countries of the Philippines. So the narrative of Rizal's major goals in writing the annotation of Antonio Morga's Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas were to challenge the negative views of the Filipino history by the Spanish colonizer and set the record straight, as well as to shed light on the Filipino civilization during the Spanish colonial period.
So, this book consists 8 chapters. The first 7 chapters consist the first 7 governor of the Philippines. And the last chapter, which is chapter 8, is the most interesting chapter kay because naadre tanan events na nahitabo ato na time. Dakarahasan, mga pangdaog-daog sa mga Spaniards, tanan naagian sa mga Filipinos na adari na sulat.
So let's proceed to Ateneo de Morga. So by the way, this is Ateneo de Morga, is a Spanish lawyer and a government official during the 17th century and also historical anthropologist. It you can see, kaya maganda yung nagawa niya kasi alam niya yung fairness, alam niya yung tamang pag judge without bias kasi hindi siya yung abogado. Author of Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, wrote the first lay formal history of the Philippines, Conquest by Spain. He is a doctorate in canon and civil law. All I can say is that, wow, di ganun katalino si Morga. Kahit sa panahon natin ngayon, to this is time kung maabot mo yung ganyan kataas na standard education, masasabi natin ngayon na above average and normal na typical citizen. So, purpose of Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, Morga 1609, wrote that the purpose for writing Sucesos was so he could chronicle the needs achieved by our Spaniards, the discovery, conquest, and conversion of the Filipinas island, as well as various fortunes that they have from time to time in the great kingdom and among the pagan people surrounding the island. So meron talaga mga kaharian dito sa Pilipinas noon nakalagay doon sa book ni Morga.
Rizal's purpose of annotating Morga's work. First one is to awaken the consciousness of the Filipino regarding their glorious ways of the past. So, Jose Rizal's purpose of annotating Antonio Morga's work was to awaken the consciousness of the Filipino regarding their glorious ways to the past. Their almost forgotten history. The Spaniard arrived to correct what has been distorted about the Philippines due to the Spanish invasion. The second one is to correct what has been distorted about the Philippines due to Spanish conquest. The Spanish hegemony in the Philippines altered the archipelago's existing social, economic, and political structures. And the last one is to prove that the Filipino are civilized advanced even before the coming of the Spaniards. In this historical work, results prove that Filipinos were already civilized before the advent of the Spaniards. They had clothes, government, laws, writing, literature, religion, arts, sciences, and commerce. Spaniards claimed that the early Filipinos were savage that were low mentality. That's all. Thank you.
Why did Rizal choose Morga's work over other Spanish chronicles? Although Antonio Higapeta's account of the Magellan expedition was even more detailed and closer to the point of first contact between the Philippines and Spain, Rizal chose Morga's work due to the following reasons. The first reason was Morga is a layman, not a religious chronicle. He was an ordinary person. He was not involved with the church. Rizal believed that Antonio de Morga's writings were more objective compared to the religious chronicles of his time. He also found Morga's account to be more sympathetic towards the Indios or the indigenous people without the embellishment of miracle stories that is often found in the religious text. Rizal valued Morga's unbiased perspective on the Philippine history and society. The second consideration for choosing Morga's work as a reference was its secular nature. Secular nature means not specifically religious or sectarian in nature. Written during the colonial period, Morga's account provided a civil perspective on Philippine history, unlike the predominantly religious accounts available. Morga's account was more focused on the Philippine history and its people, unlike the religious accounts of the priors that is often focused on church histories. Rizal's third consideration in choosing Morga's account over those of religious missionaries is that Rizal valued objectivity and trustworthiness. He believed that secular perspective provided a more accurate portrayal of events without the embellishments of miracles and apparitions. By prioritizing factual accuracy, Rizal sought to present a more realistic view of history to his readers. The fourth reason in choosing Antonio de Morga's Successos de las Islas Filipinas as a reference for his work is that Jose Rizal considered the text to be more sympathetic towards the Indios compared to the biased and racist accounts by the priors or the missionaries. This choice reflects Rizal's commitment to presenting a fair and accurate portrayal of Filipino history. And the last reason was in his account of the Philippines, Morga provides valuable insights as an eyewitness to the initial interactions between the Spain and indigenous people. As a primary source, his observations offer a unique perspective on the cultural exchange and impact of colonization in the region, making his work essential for the historical analysis. So how did Rizal know Morga's work? Jose Rizal discovered Antonio de Morga's work while he was in London at the British Museum's reading room. The book provided valuable insights into the history and culture of the Philippines, inspiring Rizal to further explore his own heritage and advocate for social reform in his homeland. He painstakingly hand-copied all 351 pages and annotated every chapter, which means Rizal hand-copied every word in every chapter of Antonio de Morga's work, Successos de las Islas Filipinas, until the very end. This marked the first historical work on the Philippines by a Filipino, offering a unique perspective from the colonized rather than the colonizer.
Hey everyone, good day. I'm Isabel Cesarate and I'm here to report about Rizal's annotation. So, when we talk about annotation, we know that annotation is like writing notes or reflecting about the experience of the past or in our history. So, si Rizal na siya ay mga gipang take note or mga himong reflection about sa past. So, ang first niya nga annotation is straightforward historical annotations. So, Rizal amplifies or corrects the original. So, si Rizal daw naa daw siya yung mga gipang correct based sa tong history nga iyahang gipang sulat para mas masabtan sa mga Filipinos. So, the second one is the annotations which to historically based reflect his strong anti-clerical bias. So, what is anti-clerical bias? For me, para masabtan jud ni siya, anti-clerical bias is kanang daghan siya mga oppose about ato nga issue, daghan siya mga disagreements about ato nga issue sa past. So, naa siya gipang sulat about sa atong history which is tutol siya ato para makabalo ang mga Filipinos unsa ang mga angay o dili angay nato i-tolerate kung time nga ang mga Spaniards is ginayo. So guys, here are Rizal's annotations. The people of the Philippines had a culture on their own before the coming of Spaniards. So before pa daw tagi sakop sa Spaniards na tayo own culture nato. And not just culture but language. Especially sa language is wala tayo dili ta makastorya og Bisaya or English or anything kay nag-own na language ang Philippines. But tungod sa Spaniards nakatuon tag language pud nila which is kanang pan, amigo, amiga, kutsara, tinidor, which is given siya sa Spaniards. So even though naatay mga half ng mga people diri sa Philippines kay gisakop ta sa uban nasod, especially sa Spaniards, nagyud tayo own nga culture nato. Okay? And second is, the people of the Philippines or pre-Hispanic Philippines is advanced, has high literacy rate, self-sufficient, and has smooth foreign relations. So, isa po sa naka-advantage sa una sa pre-Hispanic Philippines is taas siya og literacy rate. And self-sufficient and has smooth foreign relations. So daghan na ta mga natun-ang tungod sa pagsakop sa uban nasod sa tuwa. So even if daghan tag natun-an, dili gyapon malikayan or dili gyapon nato change ang fact that Filipinos, this is the third annotation, Filipinos were disseminated, demoralized, exploited, and ruined by the Spanish colonization. So even if peaceful na ta karon, dili gyud malimot or based sa annotation ni Rizal, giayo-ayo gyud ta sa Spanish before gihimo ta nilang slaves. So the fourth annotation is the present state of the Philippines is not necessarily superior to its past. So this means nga even though ang present state na to karon is okay na, dili siya necessary nga ang past na to is okay gyud sa una. It is not necessarily superior to its past kay everyone kabalo gyud ta nga we are colonized by the Spanish and kana ang history dili gyud na nato siya malungtan yung sa tanila paghimo og slave before atong mga ancestors. So the next is, in his annotation, he included the colonial history of the Philippines being in prolonged periods of suffering that many people have been subjected to. So this means nga taas kaayo, grabe ka taas ang pagsuffer sa Filipinos before nato nakamit ang atong kalayaan or ato ang peace. So the last one is the Philippines had depopulated. Depopulated means nagamay ka. Improvised and retarded, astounded by metaphor, with no confidence in their past. So, ang mga Filipinos, walay confidence sa una, walay laban sa una, kay tungod, gihimo lagi ta nilang slave, and mas daghan sila kaysa sa tuwa. Still without faith in her present, and without faltering hope in the future. So, kabaluta nga, we as Filipinos, hope na lang yun ang ato ang makasangga or hope na lang yun ang atong hawiran sa inani nga mga times. So, it is good na gihimo ni Rizal nga annotation for us to realize na we need to fight for our country. So, I hope na may natunan karon nga lesson and thank you guys.
Blumentritt wrote the prologue of the Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas. He wrote it in Spanish even though he is a German. He encouraged Rizal to write about the Philippines' pre-colonial history. He praised Rizal's works as scholarly and well-thought. Noted that the book is so rare that very few libraries has it and guarded it like a treasure. Sa nakita ang nabasa ni Rizal, ang Sucesos biskan dili ay makita ang libro sa mga libraries. Blumentritt criticized some points made by Rizal. So naa mga nakita si Blumentritt nga wala na nagustuhan and naghimo po siya og iyang own explanations into two accounts. He noticed that Rizal had committed the mistake of many modern historians who judge events in the past. He also said that Rizal should condemn Catholicism even though they didn't do any efforts to suppress calls for reform. Kaya dapat ang kritika ni Rizal ang Catholicism sa Pilipinas, dili sa world. The Sucesos, as anointed by Rizal, appeared for the first time in the Philippines 68 years later when a publisher in Manila published a new work in 1958 to contribute his bit to the national effort to honor Rizal. The present work in the 6th-volume series of writings of Rizal, which the Rizal National Contentual Commission has now published in commemoration of his birth. According to Rizal, to foretell the destiny of a nation, it is necessary to open the books that tell of her past. Sige na ito gadungan na ang hindi lumingon sa pananggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paroroon.
So, Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas is a documentation of events during the Spanish colonial of the Philippines observed by the author himself. So, This is a book of documentation na nahitabo atong pananakop sa Spaniards, na gisulat siya kay nakita og na-observe siya sa author.